नमस्ते। आप सबका स्वागत है चित्त की बात आरती नागपाल के साथ। मेरा उद्देश्य इस पॉडकास्ट का एक ही है कि रियल लाइफ हीरो मैं आपकी ज़िंदगी में आपसे मिलाऊं, ताकि आप अपनी ज़िंदगी में हीरो बन जाएं। क्योंकि हीरो सिर्फ फिल्म इंडस्ट्री में नहीं होते हैं, हीरो रियल लाइफ में हमारे आस पड़ोस में, हमारे घर के अंदर और हमारे दिल के अंदर भी है। हमको सिर्फ उन्हें देखना है, पहचानना है, जानना है और उनसे मुलाकात करनी है। आज आपकी मुलाकात मैं कराना चाहती हूँ एक ऐसे हीरो से जो विदेश से आकर हमारे देश में सनातन धर्म को सीखें, समझे, फॉलो कर रहे हैं और उसके बाद उन्होंने एक बुक लिखी है that is called In Quest of Guru. Let me introduce you Ananda Mathews, who's come from America, who lives in Goa and Mumbai and Delhi and all over India, who's like in his baby steps of Sanatan Dharma. But his beautiful soul, he's a cinematographer. And he's a lot more. Let us meet and understand what he is, who is, and where he wants to go. Namaste, Ananda ji.
Namaskar.
Welcome to my podcast.
Thanks for having me. Grateful to be here with you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for all the viewers.
Yeah. Ananda ji, I would like to know the first question I always ask. And I think everybody likes to know that. Where were you born? And what were you doing when you were a little child?
Thank you. Well, pranam to you. Pranam to the viewers. My name is Ananda Mathews.
Yes.
I'm born in the United States, in California, in San Diego.
Okay.
And I had a quite challenged childhood. But that was a beautiful ignition for me. At that time, I was known as Matthew Shaki.
Okay.
So I'm a Kichadi, you know. My parents have very different backgrounds, and in that very troubled and challenged childhood, it ignited a quest for truth and knowledge within me, which is actually a universal quest for truth and knowledge, which I didn't know. And as destiny, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point, what really is destiny, it pushed me into a career in the film industry.
Okay.
And at that time, I was still having a lot of challenges, whether it be physical or mental, life. But I never knew is what everyone is going through. And that pushed me out across the world. I thought I was going for work for the glorious film industry.
Okay.
So I was in the cinematography. But actually, that was a quest for truth and knowledge, which eventually landed me in undivided original Bharat, Sri Lanka, for a film.
Okay.
And on that film, it was about a 50% foreign crew and 50% from Bharat.
Okay.
So from the spiritual nation of Bharat, this Bollywood crew came, and I saw some brotherhood, some camaraderie, some care, some love in them that I hadn't experienced anywhere else.
Okay.
And we were dealing with Bharatnatyam. We were dealing with our culture here in Bharat.
Yes.
And that pushed me more into a quest.
Okay.
I didn't know it was a quest for truth and knowledge or guru.
Okay.
But everything was seeming familiar to me.
Okay.
Whether it be the Bharatnatyam dance, the culture, the path, the puja, the tradition, the rituals, everything we were portraying in the film, quite familiar.
Nice.
So that brought me into original Bharat. And here, again, it was very familiar. And I started to come and go from Bharat.
Okay.
But I couldn't seem to really leave. Even when I lived very close by in Sri Lanka, something kept pulling me back. Until one day, there was no other calls for shoots as a cinematographer other than in Bharat.
Oh.
Well, let's try it out for some time. And when that career started to really blossom, it blossomed for a few years and the pandemic came.
Oh,
Yeah, pandemic came.
yes.
And I had like a magnification of my churning. It was really spiritual churning, but it was spiritual, mental, physical. And I thought I had some unique problems. I thought I had unique questions about life. But I started to get an inkling of the universal truths of our cultural Vedic roots, which some of us call Sanatan Dharma.
Yes.
When I started to go to the market and see that the people who were asking for money usually were now asking for food. And one day I described to a friend's father, I've given that food and I got some relief from my own quote unquote suffering,
Yeah.
illusionary suffering.
Yes.
He said, the only way that you'll get out of this is to
By
serve
giving.
others.
Yes.
So I'll sponsor a ration program for my businesses.
Okay.
Would you be willing to find the people that need it? Never was even an option. But that started giving me a reason to live, a reason to get up every day, a reason to see that pandemic is an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Say it.
Absolutely. I have also felt the same thing. Pandemic has transformed people, and this pandemic may have taken few lives. Lot of people have gone through a lot of losses, but that loss has taught them a lot. This loss all around the world has brought some light. Some elimination was done to remove the darkness and bring the light which was within us, and we were missing that. We were not seeing who is there in our family, who is there in front of us, what is there within us, how talented we are, what are we capable of. We were unaware of it.
Totally.
This pandemic opened that, like dusting off, cleaning of the house and cleaning of inside. Everything was done.
Opportunity of a lifetime.
Yes.
To be with self and not with what some get caught up into and call the rat race of life.
Yeah.
Chasing after the money and trying to get it in short time or momentary, limitary experiences.
Yeah.
And something very interesting that before the pandemic, during the pandemic, you could say that Bollywood is like a microcosm of our nation.
Yeah.
And everyone had so many problems, myself included, illusionary problems. But the answer to their problem was in their cultural roots.
Yeah.
But they were uninterested to be connected. They were actually disconnected from their cultural roots. And I started saying, wow, the answer to the problem is right here.
Yes.
Maybe I didn't fully understand at that time.
Yeah.
But as the pandemic was there and some people were scared of the air they breathed or they were hoping for life to go back to normal. All of a sudden, I was being pushed by the divine into service, which I had, a companion in my life, other people in my life who actually had a priority for service. And we describe seva, selfless service to humanity, a lot in this book, In Quest of Guru, which has just been released.
Yes.
I started noticing, how can I not be like them? Before the pandemic, one very special person in my life, they were always doing seva, selflessly. But when I started to go into the chawls and give, not even giving, it's sharing. Ration door to door, I started seeing a few things. One, they were happier than anyone in, say, a Bandra or a Santa Cruz or a Juhu in Mumbai, living in a very nice flat, scared. They were enjoying their life in the moment of that time. They were also serving their neighbor. I always tell people there's so many problems. Just open the door of your house and look outside. Who will you serve today? And they were doing that. We would give one ration and all of a sudden they would start sharing with another family that had more family members in their house. And they weren't concerned about what was going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
though they may only have 2 meals a day. That started to churn me even more. Well, what problems do I have? They have the same problems. Maybe I can have 3 meals a day. They can't. But that was something beautiful. I was learning from them. I was getting churned. And I was seeing that, seva is a big part of life, selfless service.
Yes.
And happiness, maybe there's a different definition to happiness than maybe what we're realizing when life is moving so fast and we think we have control.
Yeah.
Which is illusionary.
Yeah, coming to the control, do you believe in magic?
Everyday magic, or miracles, as some people call them, is in front of us every day.
Yes.
The divine is right there, but we may call it coincidence, or we may call it chance. But in this life, there's no accident. There's no random occurrences.
No coincidences.
There are no coincidences. Whether there's an earthquake, whether there's a plane crash, whether there's any sort of natural calamity, or some little bump in our life, it's an opportunity to teach us something.
Yeah.
Which, if we label it as good or bad, we'll miss it.
Yeah.
But if we say, I don't fully understand my everyday experiences, I should accept that. I see that it's an opportunity. I'm telling myself that.
Yeah.
And it's either positive or negative. But at the end of the day, they're both divine.
Yes.
So for me, I should look at it as a gift from divine and a destined moment for me to move ahead in life. My perspective is all that matters.
Yeah.
I often say in counseling or in everyday interactions that change your perspective or perception to change your life. So before I wrote the book and before I started speaking to larger groups of people, or having the honor, which is by the grace of my Guruji, Divine Colonel Ashok Kini, and the Divine.
I was going to come to that. That since you were cinematographer and you were doing films and all the life is different, and naturally you were based in Goa. So Goa's life, everybody knows how it is. And coming to this side of Sanatan Dharma. So how did you meet your guru? You say, like, you believe like he's just guiding you. He doesn't like to be called guru, right? Colonel Divine Ashok Kini Ji.
He always says, I'm not a guru. People give me that honor and respect.
Yeah.
But I'm not a guru.
So
I'm
how
something different.
Yeah. How did you get connected to him? Which was that point when you met him?
So the beautiful thing is, after my experiences of seva and the chawls, which is not my idea, divine plan through my friend's father, then in the film industry, shoots started opening up in Delhi.
Okay.
So instead of being in Mumbai, before Goa, I lived in Mumbai, I was sent by the divine plan to Delhi.
Okay.
And I had a few shoots. I got sent to the Himalayas. I had that urge to go there, injured myself.
Oh.
Came down, went to a friend's house, and I had a divine experience where something talked through one of my friend's friends, telling me that there's a special doctor, you should go to that doctor.
Okay.
And when I went to that Ayurvedic doctor, who we mentioned in the book, I was going for my own desires and physical aspects, not knowing truth and knowledge I was searching for. She told me, you're seeking some peace, but that peace that you seek, I cannot give you. But I know someone who can. I consider him my guru. You go to him. So I had to knock his door so many times. He rejected me over and over again. But I put the effort. Something was murmuring inside me. I have to meet this guy. And I didn't understand how in Bharat, someone named Divine and Colonel could be synonymous.
Absolutely.
An army man, spiritual. How could it be?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And there's a lot of misnomers, stereotypes around guru.
Yes.
That's why he says that people are giving me that honor and respect, but I don't call myself as guru.
Yeah.
So I believe that people's aura, positive aura, or negative, is all the signature you need.
Yes.
You don't need the title.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, that on the night that this body fell down, I met my Guruji, Divine Colonel Ashok Kini.
Oh.
He has given me extra life and a mission to serve. And he also asked me, you want to have a small aim in life when he raised me back up and gave me this life? Or do you want to think there's something bigger for your life beyond your desires, your dreams? Maybe the divine has planned for you to serve the humanity.
Okay.
So he gave me a mission to bring the ancient knowledge of Bharat to the global youth and any seeker hungry for truth and knowledge using modern terminology and a modern approach to Sanatan Dharma to understand the Vedic principles for peaceful living, which we can all apply to our lives. Because the ancient knowledge is applicable here today, but maybe not easily digested, especially by the youth of our nation, Bharat, and the world.
I wanted to ask you, if I can, what do you mean by you collapsed or you fell down? Can I?
Yeah, of course you can.
What had happened?
You could say that the divine plan was that this body was done, but new life had come.
Like you had some disease or something? Or
Just
simply?
we all will go at some point.
Oh,
So my Guruji at first glance noticed the divine plan.
okay.
He has actually put me into this body and given me this life to serve the nation and serve the humanity.
Okay.
But he also gave me choice, which we highlight in this book.
Yeah.
He said one time, you may not remember who you really are or why you were sent here to serve in Bharat, one more life. But, I can give you whatever you want today. You don't even know. But it's a small aim in life. And as Abdul J. Kalam, our former president of Bharat, who my Guruji served,
My hero.
he used to say, small aim is a crime. It's a gosh darn crime. So my Guruji told me, the small aim in life can be achieved at any time and you'll miss the purpose of your life.
Yeah.
That's a human journey. So my journey that we highlight in this book is just used to communicate this modern approach to Sanatan Dharma.
Oh,
Actually.
that's beautiful.
And what is Sanatan Dharma?
Yeah.
It's goodness, it's honesty, it's righteousness, it's service.
Yes.
It is, actually being surrendering and accepting of what the reality is.
Yes.
A lot of times I call it the 7 passwords for life.
Okay.
So to break down for the global youth, I kind of call it passwords. We're in a program here.
Yes.
It is a program named as life.
Life.
And it is a training program for soul, school for the soul.
Yes. Totally.
This book is a little bit of a guide to the program named as life.
Okay.
Which we have come into so many times.
Yes.
So to understand how to break down all that ancient knowledge, especially the youth are very uninterested to, hear the sloka sometimes, to go back to the Vedic principles. So we give it to them in a bite-sized modern wording portion. And I say, 7 passwords. Positive thinking. Thinking, when you're thinking, you're an antenna. Transmitting and receiving energy of thought.
Yeah.
Energy of words, energy of deeds. And that energy we create from our thoughts, which we control, it is transmitted from us.
Yes.
It attracts similar energy, comes back, and returns to us many-fold, which we don't realize.
Yes.
And we haven't even gotten to karma yet.
Yeah.
So you could say, first password for life is positive thinking.
Yeah.
We're an antenna transmitting and receiving energy of thought. What we create is transmitted, goes out from us, attracts similar energy, and returns to us many-fold.
Yes.
So positive or negative, we attract it. We also attract by our words, second password for life. So what I'm thinking, I may speak unless I have restraint. Then I have my actions. Positive action also is creating energy. We could easily say that one thought, creating energy, and one word or action actually creates one karma. Because it is my action or inaction, which comes from my thought. So positive thinking, positive speaking, positive action. Now we have to be honest first with ourselves. Then with others we can be honest. If that self-honesty is not there, it'll be very difficult to see the truth of life. Then seva, selfless service to humanity, is so important. So many problems outside of our own front main gate of our house. Who we serve today. It's not about giving money or food always. Time, intention, care, seeing the opportunity, always looking for someone to help, to ease their time in life, and we ease ourselves. We get our own relief. Then we've got the beauty of accepting the reality of the moment.
As it is.
As it is. If we like it, don't like it, wish it could have, would have been something different.
Different.
Doesn't change what it is. My perception is everything. But once I accept the reality, I need to surrender to it, to see it's an opportunity for life.
Yes.
Whatever it is, it's a gift from the divine and a destined moment for me, which we highlight in the book In Quest of Guru. So you could say 7 passwords for life. Every program, you need some passwords to operate in a system.
Yes.
You put those in and your life synchronizes. We haven't talked about any prayer or rituals yet. And those may not help you unless you're being positive, doing these aspects of Sanatan Dharma, no matter what your faith or religion, cultural background, your life synchronizes. You start to enjoy your life, and that is where the magic comes.
Yeah.
Then if you understand that, then your ritual, your tradition has big power for you.
Absolutely.
But without my intention,
Yeah.
what some call niyat, without my actions being positive, without controlling my mind, serving the humanity, all these beautiful modern applicably aspects to Sanatan Dharma, my life can't go smooth and synchronized.
That's nice. It's been how many years you have been associated with your guru, Ashok Kini Ji?
I've been in this beautiful nation of Bharat for about 13 years.
13 years.
And I've been with him since October 4th, 2020.
Okay.
It was the day the divine connected us.
Okay.
He brought me here and gave me the mission, which is a shared mission for all of us.
Yes, all of us, all of us.
To serve.
This right now also what we are doing is kind of a seva to reach to n numbers of people. We don't know who's going to listen, who's going to understand what it is going to impact in their life and transform them into that being what they are going to be. What is their purpose to be? We don't know. So this is also a way of life to do seva.
Yeah, you're quoting from the book again.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's something magical. You mentioned magic.
Yeah.
Whenever the book In Quest of Guru or the brochure,
Yeah.
just everyone's book, everyone's human journey,
Yeah.
encapsulated in this book,
Yeah.
they start to quote from the book
Okay.
when the brochure or the book comes to them.
Okay.
And we really highlight, which we are doing here,
Yes,
if
yes.
you and I,
Yeah.
if I can be born in a Anglo-Christian place,
Okay.
if I can travel around the world, come to Bharat,
Yeah.
be transformed here
Yeah.
into a positive human being serving humanity as you
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
if I can practice and promote Sanatan Dharma, start to guide others, you can too. Anyone can. You
Yeah.
may have some problems, some challenges, some concerns, but I had the same. You can also transform and see seva as the key part of life.
Truth. Pure truth. I keep wondering sometimes that, people have plan in their life that tomorrow I will do this, day after I'll do this. This is the plan. After 10 years, I have to be there. 40 years, I have to retire. 50 years, I have to do this. 25, I have to get married. All these plans are there and they are just running into that plan, excessively too much of aggression and passion and madness and lot of things are there. My childhood, till date, I'm sitting along with you over here and doing this podcast. I had no idea 2 days back that I'm going to do this today. Right?
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, is there any mention in Sanatan Dharma about this? There is, you don't have your individual plan, but the divine has a plan for you. Divine intervention is there. And how, if somebody wants to, let me place it properly. If somebody wants to have a very beautiful life, what that person should do? Should that person follow their own plans? Or should that person surrender completely?
Wow. Question is, how deep do we want to get today?
Yeah.
Well, you definitely keep me on track.
Yeah.
Because you said, does Sanatan Dharma,
Yeah.
or say Vedic science,
Yes.
Vedic spiritual science,
Yes.
does it talk about the plan for our life?
Yes.
See, when we see things often as in chaos, it could be on the news or outside our own house, it's hard for us to calculate that, oh, my every moment, the Lord or the divine in any name or form has planned out. But we shouldn't tell the viewers or each other that. We have to be able to experience it and observe it. Everything comes down to how you feel, how you experience. So if you're sitting with me, it's an investment of your time.
Yes.
You need a return on that investment. So actually, before I was given the mission to talk to larger groups of people, I was, you could say, tutored to serve by my Guruji side in psycho-spiritual counseling, which is about 20% psychology, 80% spiritual, to get down to the problems that maybe the doctor, the pundit, the psychologist, the advocate cannot solve. So my Guruji, Colonel Ashok Kini,
Yes.
he specializes in that.
Okay.
They call him Divine Colonel,
Okay.
named by the president of
Yes.
Bharat.
Yes.
So if we want to understand the path for all of our life,
Yeah.
which only your viewers can really experience, we can't tell them.
Yeah.
I always tell people, do not take what I tell you as the truth, whether it's counseling or in a group of people I'm talking to. You have to contemplate it. So contemplation is seeking to understand the truth, whereas thinking often is a fight with reality. Now, we've talked about destiny, we're talking about thinking. So if we understand the program named as life we are all sitting in, it is a school for the soul, which we have lived in many, many times. And we all have a bit of EMI to pay. We all have some FD. So we were sent down here for one more life, one more cycle in this program, which is housed in the system of the universe. And we were only came here to learn priceless lessons of life for the soul, which are encapsulated in a magnified sense in this program. Everything we do is calculated. See, if I stay in your house, for example, and you say the maid has gone on chuti, you do a little jaro putra. So if I'm supposed to mop and sweep her floor and I accept it, yes, ma'am, you're going out, I'll do it. Now, I have three choices. I can either do very, very karak cleaning. I can look at the floor and say, I'll do a little bit. Or I can do nothing at all. It's my choice. And this is in a macro and microcosm life. It is our intention to treat each other or to do every little task. That's why any job, anything we do in life matters. So if you understand, you've come down one more time in this program, and we have that debt, the EMI. So to understand the EMI, would you say that problems come in life often?
They are there.
Daily basis.
They are there.
So in EMI, if you don't pay the EMI, even if you miss one payment, it starts being compounded daily.
Okay.
So we understand that those, you could say, difficulties in life, which everyone experiences, is that EMI payment being compounded. But the positive things, do they come often or every once in a while?
Depends on us.
Our perception.
Yeah.
Most people, they say that super positive thing that they notice, it comes every once in a while. Where the true magic is that everything is positive and an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Our perception is what matters.
Yes.
We have to change our perception to change our life.
Yes.
But we understand that FD, that fixed deposit of an investment, it pays out every once in a while. That's like what some people call karma, which I also call the balance of the energy of action, past and present, makes our current experience today positive or negative. So you understand the EMI, understand the FD. So we're meant to clean our dirt of deeds or sins or karma, which some people say. And we're supposed to make an FD by, serving others, wanting nothing in return, positive thinking, action, words, and enjoy our life. But only seva can cut the karma. Only selfless service to humanity can cut the karma again and again, multiply our happiness. So we've come down here only for these purposes. Pay off our debt of deeds and karma. Make a savings account of our new, fresh, positive karma.
Yeah.
serve others, and enjoy our life.
Yes.
In that time,
Okay.
there is a plan for us.
Yeah.
Because I always tell people, you can never beat the designer of this program at their own game. The thought that comes to us is either coming by karma or by some divine order. You meet a lot of people in life, correct?
Yes.
Some people you meet, you don't want to talk to them at all.
Yeah.
Some you feel so happy to meet them.
Yeah.
And some you don't even notice.
Yes.
So it's like you go out on the road and market, you meet lots of people.
Yes.
Karma.
Yes.
Or you can meet them by divine order. When it's karma, you feel some magnetism, like you cannot stay away. You have to go do it. No one can talk you out of it. If you want to be a lawyer, you'll be a lawyer. But when it's in the divine program, it's something new. And what you said, magical. It's so fresh and so calming, but you never could have imagined it. That is the divine program we want to get into, divine order. But that karma, that balance of the energy of action that comes to us, it is something very beautiful where, yes, it's coming positive or negative. There may be some hiccups in life, but it's all about our approach to it. You could say that life starts at Ganga Sagar in the Himalayas, and it ends at the ocean of purity. First, it is, starting at Gangotri,
Yes.
then Ganga Sagar.
Yes.
So, why did I say it like that? Because people look at life differently.
Differently.
They think that the clock is moving clockwise when it's moving counterclockwise. So actually, they're not looking at the flow of life as it's meant to be. Gangotri, Ganga Sagar.
Yeah.
They think it's Ganga Sagar, Gangotri. And they never think about getting to the ocean of purity, which some call Paramatma or divine, or you could say heaven.
Yeah.
Heaven is here on earth. It is our perception to that that
Yes.
matters. So life starts there at Gangotri. It's just a flow. We should surrender to that flow. It's a beautiful thing where if we're practicing purity, positivity, righteousness, the beautiful passwords for life we talked about, selfless service to humanity, honesty,
Yes.
which is the root of Sanatan Dharma.
Yes.
Then we'll reach the destination of all souls. Everyone's trying to go there. Unfortunately, if you want to call it starting at the root of the river or class 0, we come out of Gangotri down the Ganga, which is just supposed to take us somewhere. We get out and sit on the Ghat, the riverbank.
Yes.
We look at our problems.
Yes.
Look at one problem, we'll find 10 problems.
Yes.
Then we want to be tempted to find out what's our future.
Yeah.
Oh, so you go further away from the flow of life and ask someone, tell me my future.
Yeah.
A lot of people, empowered by positive and also negative energy, can see a future.
Yeah.
But if I start looking into your karma today, your future, because destiny is karma unfolding, it gets cemented, stamped like a notary public at a court. And it's very hard to change. So when we meet people, a lot of times we can see if they've gone to an astrologer, a shaman giving predictions, a psychic, a palm reader, astrologer. It's difficult to move them onto a new course because when they find out their future, they want to go change their future sometimes. They're so far away from the flow of life. And by sitting together, you and I with anyone can be transformed. We're just trying to pick them, put them back in the flow of life and say, please surrender. See, everything is a gift of divine and a destined moment for you in that divine program, which we want to put you in. Sit back and relax, go with the flow of life, and be positive in your thoughts, words, and deeds. Selflessly serve. Be honest.
Yes.
You'll reach the destination and you'll win over all karma. All these difficulties stacked in front of you, they'll be reduced. You just go with the flow of life.
So, in wholesome way, I will just put it in a simple word is that everybody who is thinking that they have a plan and their life will move according to their plan is actually there is divine plan and we have to surrender to that divine plan to live a beautiful life. If we go to the route of Gangotri and we flow with the Ganga, river Ganga, the way river flows, we keep flowing, we keep floating. So naturally, whatever the good is supposed to come in our life, it will keep coming in our life. We will flourish, we will understand, we'll become from zero to limitless and enter the Sagar, Ganga Sagar. and merge with the Paramatma and achieve what we have to achieve, right?
Yeah. And anyone can experience this no matter their faith, their beliefs, their background. They just observe life, not as the experiencer, but as the watcher and observer of life and eventually their own thoughts. Because thought comes from karma.
Karma.
It is our conscious choice only what to do with that thought.
Yes.
Thought may be positive or negative because karma is what is teaching us. Whether it be positive or negative, it's how we handle it that matters.
Yeah. Perception, how we see it.
Change your perception to change your life.
Yes.
But say if my house is burning, for example, I cannot change the fact the house is burning.
Yeah.
But it is my perception to it that matters. I can be happy or I can be sad. I told someone a story once that, there was two sons and their father had gone up. He had left this body. And one son was stoic. He seemed to be emotionless. He was going about his daily duties. And the other son was full of emotion. He was crying. He was tearing his clothes out. He couldn't sleep, eat, anything. And he went to his other brother and said, Papa has gone. Our hero has gone. How can you not be without tears? How can you go about the work of our family? Don't you care? Don't you feel anything? He said, my dear brother, how I am feeling, you will feel tomorrow or in 1 year's time. It's your choice. But I see that I have no control over this point in my life. But the divine in any name or form is in control. So I should surrender to that and do my duty.
What do I have to do?
Yeah, what is my duty? So I have to be positive to whatever has been given to me in life. It's an opportunity to serve my mother who's still here, to serve you.
Yes.
So it's your choice, my dear brother.
You can sit and cry or just follow your duty. Just follow with the life and believe that whatever has happened for the best.
And my Guruji have seen people that they have a loss,
Yeah.
father, mother, child.
Yeah.
And on that day of loss, you feel this person's life is over.
Yeah.
But in 1 month's time, they start to smile.
Yeah.
In 2 months' time, they start to talk a little more naturally.
Yeah.
In 3 months' time, they start to eat regular.
And
In
they get back to their normal.
4 months' time, they start to laugh. And in 1 year's time, or even 6 months, they forgot the pain of the first day of loss.
Yes.
So we started to say, it's all bhagwas. These emotions, the desires, the pain or the suffering is momentary, temporary, just like life. We don't have control, so we should enjoy it in the moment.
Yeah.
So that means we want to give divine love.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yes.
Not the temporary love. We want to give that permanent love.
Yeah.
We call it divine.
Divine love.
Divine love, which is beyond your human approach.
Yes.
Beyond your words, beyond your physical appearance.
Absolutely.
It is whatever you do, you cannot change that love in me for you.
Yes.
Unconditional is a challenge in human life, but we're all judged on it.
Yeah.
What I treat to you,
Yeah.
how I treat you is what matters.
Yeah.
Because I cannot control you or any other human. I can only control myself. But often, we are so busy trying to control an environment or other people, we don't focus on working on ourselves.
Yes.
We are distracted by the so-called reasons for life, which are illusionary, and we miss life's purpose.
Yes. True. Beautiful.
Maybe life wasn't about getting what we want.
It is more about giving.
Yeah, in this book, we show that journey of desire
Yes.
to surrender,
Yeah.
to seeing, wait, maybe around the curve of the river,
Yeah.
which I cannot see,
Yeah.
something beautiful is there.
Yes.
Many times in talking to people or counseling, I say, you just get on this life raft and you go. Something beautiful is around the corner. And they say, no, I don't want to go because I can't see it. I say, I promise you, if you surrender, something beautiful is there. But if you sit there, you'll never get to that thing you could never imagine. And that's the beauty of life. If you're being positive and surrendering and serving others, your life synchronized and it flows. And what you thought was what life was all about, you're holding on too tight, which may not even be with you. You're not accepting and appreciating what's with you. You may never get there. But when you just surrender and say, I don't understand this life, but you must have a plan for me. Take me there. Give me what you think is good for me. the divine or God in any form. Give me what you think is good for me. Empower me to do for what the purpose I was put here on earth. Boom, you go somewhere. And then 1 year later, 2 days later, like us sitting in this podcast, you think, wow, if I had just halted there, held on for dear life, like a man holding onto a reed on a riverbank, not wanting to go with the flow, I would never get here.
True. While you were talking, I was just thinking that thing was playing in my back of my mind that a lot of people, they have this rigid mentality. They are very rigid. Okay? They are suffering. They are going through a lot of pain, but they must not be believing in God. According to them, there is no God. What is there? The question is there within people who believe in different religions. They must not be believing in it. And there is this problem lying in their life. And then they are fighting and they are facing that problem. And they are wounded. They are damaged. They are hurt. And they are not able to drive through the life. They have this so much of control about everything and they don't know what to do. And their anger is flowing everywhere on all the people around them. They are just angry. They are hurt. They are painful. Even though there is a way to heal themselves, they do not want to follow. So what these kind of people, what they should do, if suppose in case somebody like that is watching this, what we are talking about, if that person is watching this, what is there for him to gain out of it?
I'll answer in a beautiful, simple way everyone can understand.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful question you answered that applies actually to all human beings on this beautiful journey of life.
Yeah.
Actually, control is a bit of an illusion.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a program which you didn't design, you may not be able to go in the back door and change the code. We didn't put ourselves in this life. We've been placed here to learn very valuable lessons. So oftentimes, I don't see that the only thing that I control is myself. I cannot control the environment. I cannot control you or others. Now, how often do things go as you plan them to go in life? Please tell me.
Hardly. In my life, so I have no control. I don't control and I don't have no control. It just happens. Life is happening to me and I'm just enjoying it.
That is where we should be. But the temptation
Yes.
is to hold on tight, to make plans, so many plans, and to actually hinge our happiness on whatever happens in that plan. But if we start to see that the beauty in life is what we might call coincidence or the randomness, now there's no good, bad. There's only positive or negative, but it has all come from the divine to teach us something. So when I see that my plan doesn't fully happen as I imagine, the things I desire, they're not always coming to me. It's maybe very, very limited. And maybe my anger or my frustration is coming from me trying to control things I have no control over. So if anyone has this deep desire for something they want, or anger at the environment not obeying them, or not getting what they want, we can ask one question. Maybe life wasn't about getting what I want. Maybe there's a lesson in my everyday occurrences that I should just try for a moment to look at that thing. So if I cannot control you, I can only control myself. That means if I start to work on myself, I become a light for you. It's so tempting, even for me, to look at somebody and say, my expectation of the environment or this person's behavior is causing me sorrow. But expectation always leads to sorrow.
Yes.
So when an opportunity comes to you in life, my dear friend, or any of our viewers, we should say that everything is an opportunity. Everything. And when it comes, I have to grab that thing without expectation of the outcome.
Yes.
We don't actually know. So I had a case once where there was a lady in Tamil Nadu, beautiful soul. And we got connected by some divine plan. I told her, I think you're sitting in a yellow room, sitting on the floor sad. Is it correct? She said, yeah, how did you know? So I just wanted to confirm whatever was being shown to me, because I don't have any power, but something was being shown. So I said, why are you sad? She said, I'm getting divorced and I'm contemplating suicide.
Oh.
I said, why? She said, because the marriage was supposed to last forever. I said, ma'am, a lot of love I have for your question, because it's a question for all of humanity.
Yes.
Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. Maybe it was an experience that you were supposed to go to and go through to learn something beautifully valuable. And where you might be in the future would never happen unless you surrender today to that flow of life. It's not good, it's not bad, but if you hold on tight, you may be able to stay. You may be able to make that relationship last, but there might be a disconnection.
Yes.
So I described to her that energy aligns positive or negative. You take money, for example. When energy aligns, money flows. But that money can come from positive or negative energy.
Yes.
It may destroy your life. It
Yeah.
may bring such beauty to your life. And we shouldn't have an expectation of what will come to me. So she was sad and thinking about taking her life because that marriage wasn't lasting. But I told her, look, opportunity has come. Don't fight it. Okay, good. You tried to make the relationship come together. But if something is going, go with it. Today, she has not taken her life. She is a light to all the people around her. She's moved to a new city, has a job she could never imagine because she decided, I couldn't decide for her. She decided to surrender. And she got shaken by the divine a little bit. So it's not always life-threatening. It's not always, you could say, life-changing. But we see it as that. The smallest things are the biggest things. If we see, okay, something has come to me. If I fight it, I might get hurt. I always tell people when this life goes off or when something changes in life, it's like holding on to a kapara, a very soft cloth. No matter if it's velvet, once it's pulled from you, you'll get hurt, right?
Yes, yes.
So when you leave this life, or even when a change happens, you have to do it with open arms, acceptance and surrender. Something good has happened, like the man whose house might be burning. Well, maybe some negativity is getting burned, some negative energy. Maybe he's being pushed to a new home, a new place. And what really helped me in my journey is, what's the worst that can happen? Say someone will always give you a place to sleep, some food to eat. Someone will always be there to take care. But it's our fear of the unknown which curtails, it limits us in life.
True.
So those people who are angry are actually angry. One, they're not getting what they want.
Yeah.
Two, they don't know that karma has given them the idea that they have.
Yeah.
I asked one lady who was an architect, and I've been, by some quote unquote magical sense, I've been accidentally sent to their house instead of going to their father's office. And I gave the address, I came there. And I said, what career do you have? She said, I'm an architect. I said, who gave you the idea to be an architect? No, I wanted to be an architect. I said, not a doctor, not a lawyer, not a cook. She said, no, architect. I said, who gave you the idea? Where do you think the idea that you feel so strongly about to do this thing in life? So the idea may not be ours. So that is why I describe to people that mind is a broken reflection of our own perfect consciousness. And our thoughts we create. The idea comes from somewhere else, divine or karmic.
Okay.
I always tell people, in this program called life, there's two sub-programs, karmic program, divine program. We want to get into that program, that beautiful synchronicity in life.
Yes.
So when you understand this, that, okay, I don't have control. It's all positive. It's all a gift of divine for me. And what I think should happen, maybe I don't fully understand. when we start to say, I don't understand life, and we say that mind is like a mirror of our soul, our consciousness.
Yeah.
You put Vaseline, you spray it with hairspray, you break it. It'll stay there. And you can see some shape movement, but you can't see anything clearly. This is mind. Mind is not seeing things in life clearly. And the question might come, where does mind come from? So to understand first what mind is, we talked about where does the thought come from. So when we come down into this temporary home, this body, which is only a machine, and we start being mated, our soul, which is like a SIM card in a phone, which we describe in the book.
Yes.
Actually, my Guruji's beautiful terminology,
Yes,
which I have taken it to another level.
Yes.
So our Atma is like SIM card. It's sitting here in a pool of water
Okay.
between our eyes, a little bit above. And it's interfacing with brain.
Okay.
Brain is like processor.
Okay.
And we're with this body, which is like a machine or the hardware of a phone. And senses are like sensors in a phone, a machine.
Yeah.
And we are not the machine. We are not the processor, the brain. And we certainly are not the thoughts. So mind is a combination of Atma pairing with brain, brain pairing with body and senses. And when all these come together, at the time you come out for physical birth, mind is opened, mind is formed. And it is an imperfect perfection. From the time you come out of your mother's womb, there's other ways to be born, hint, hint, hint in the book. Blindfold comes on. That blindfold is our senses, our desire, our karma, our thoughts, our deeds. We are all soul, inextricably connected to the divine in any name or form without diversity. It means without filtration, naturally. But there may be those filtration. Thoughts, words, deeds, karma of you and your ancestors, our desire, negativity in our environment, our own negativity. So it filters us. So when you come and talk to someone, or I come and talk to you, it can happen with anyone who's surrendering to serve the divine. We may be only being the loudspeaker for you, of what you were supposed to hear. So when you sit on this podcast and you serve the nation, serve the humanity, the person listening, you may be telling them what they're already being told by the divine, but they can't hear. So you, maybe me, we become the loudspeaker of that.
Yes.
So when we understand this is a machine, I need to give some oil once an hour, water. I need to give some very pure food at certain timings of the day, which is fuel. And I am not the body. And this mind, I am not the mind. So mind is always there, but it can be reduced to such a level that we see clearly life. So many people, they think the thought just comes to them. And in the book, one of my journeys, before I could guide anyone, was conquering my own unrestrained negative movement of thought. So thought is that reflection. It's like a sterile pool, which you created and put glass walls around. It's an infinity pool. You go down, you see forever. If you've created it and you put glass around it, would there be any waves, any wind, any fish jumping?
Nothing.
But all of a sudden, fish are jumping out of the water, waves are going up, a wind is blowing in a sterile environment, which you've created. Thoughts. But usually we are deep inside a thought. We're inside the wave of thought.
Yeah.
It's like a hill with a big opening at the top and a ball comes out, our thoughts. And it rolls down a hill faster and faster and faster.
Like avalanche.
Yeah, but we don't realize it because we're not aware of it. Because we're inside that ball, tumbling and tumbling down a hill. Any viewer listening to this, as I had to go through that journey, we want to take you out of that ball and make you the watcher and observer of your thoughts in life, not
Third person point of view.
not the experiencer.
Yes.
All of a sudden, when you start to, from the moment you open your eyes in the morning, you observe the first thought. Where does it come from? Where does it jump to? What are its contents? This is a big thing. Because a thought is creating energy. Energy is transmitted to us, is attracting similar energies and returning to us manyfold. So now when we've pulled you out and you see the ball open, you see it start to go down. And as soon as it's coming down the hill so fast, you see another ball pop out, the next thought. And our quote unquote consciousness, which is not the soul, it jumps from thought to thought, correct?
Yes.
And usually we're just tumbling down. So first thing is when you're observing and watching the thought very intently, like a watchman at the guard gate of a military base.
Oh,
The first day, they don't know what's going on there. So if you're a watchman, you're very focused.
alert.
All life, we have to be like that. Because when I know that my thoughts creating energy is returning to me manyfold, positive or negative, it's creating my everyday experience with karma. Whoa, I'll be very alert because I don't want to continue down a thought, continue down the road. Usually, a thought is running, usually negative, which 1 kilometer later, we're driving down a road, we realize that thought was going. And we often replay things because it's a fractured thing of our own perfect consciousness. We are not replaying the thought from the past, the memory from the past, perfectly. It's imperfect. It's changing all the time.
Yes.
So when we become the observer and watcher of our own thoughts intently, we'll learn a lot. We shouldn't react because we may be scared about what's inside that thought. But then slowly the thoughts will slow down when we are intent observer. And we have to replace the negative thought or action immediately with a positive one.
These affirmations, what we speak.
I'll never be anything in life. No. I will be very successful as the divine gives me the opportunity.
Yes.
It can be very small.
Chanting.
And you keep surrendering those negative thoughts to the divine 1,000 times a day. I had to do it. And slowly, as you observe the thought, don't let it just run out. It starts to slow down. Then you start to realize that I don't want to think negative. And you might start to pray, divine, God, in any name or form, I don't want to derail myself or manifest something from my own imperfect, usually negative thoughts. It will take me away from where you want me to go.
Yeah.
That Ganga River flow.
Yes.
I ask people who bring up the questions on manifestation.
Yes.
The idea of manifestation or law of attraction.
That is going on a lot on this social media and Instagram and social, everywhere. They teach you how to manifest, what to affirm, what to say. If you will do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen.
Time pass.
Absolutely. And today's youth is like constantly watching those reels and those videos and everything is by default unknowingly absorbing those thoughts which are implanted in your routine life, creating new karma, like you said.
Beautiful thing you said.
And it keeps on like infiltrating your original karma, your original action, and you are shifting into something which you want to be or you don't want to be, you don't know, but something is shifting. So here we have choice that where we want to go, what kind of a transformation we want to do, and how we want to do. So there, book like yours, what you have written in Quest of Guru, like with your experience, if somebody reads that or sees this kind of podcast, what we are talking about, or just surrenders to divine, that just flow through me, just guide me, let me lead my life beautifully, but guide me. I think so that will help, right?
100%. Because it's not anyone's knowledge.
Yes.
It's not my book. It's everyone's book.
Yes.
You were chosen by the divine for a podcast. I was asked to write a book.
Yeah.
We're both surrendering for something to flow through us.
Yes.
So actually being empowered is not having power. It's surrendering for something divine to flow through us.
Yes.
And something beautiful you said about manifestation. There's a lot of messaging on that.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
If you ask people, how often are our thoughts positive throughout the day?
Yes.
Often negative, right?
Mostly.
So,
For that only they are watching the reels, no?
Instead of controlling ourselves.
Yeah, because you know that something is not right. So no. I don't want to think this is there. Like, in my life, this is happening. So I want to just change it. So let me watch positive reel or positive this or positive that, or let me read a positive quote. And once I get it, I'll send it to somebody else. Instead of absorbing it, I'll forward it. I'll push it. Okay, oh, watch this. Oh, see this. So mostly what you are saying, people are more attracted to negative anything, not even thoughts, negative film, actions, negative anything is there around. It's very easily adaptable rather than positive because it is hard.
Yeah, well, going back to that beautiful discussion we had,
Yes,
that life
yes.
is not about getting what we want.
Yes.
But when we're focused on quote unquote manifestation,
Yes.
we are trying to control something we can't.
Yes.
We're trying to make something happen which may not come to us in the exact form we want.
What we want.
But actually, first we have to understand that the idea of law of attraction, manifestation,
Yeah.
has been misunderstood from Vedic text.
Yes.
Has been exported abroad, repackaged, and brought back to our youth here in our nation.
True.
Without understanding that yet bhawe tat bhavati. It has dual meaning, which is married together. What you perceive will come in front of you. What you think will manifest in some form. So in this book, In Quest of Guru, we say, for transformation to happen, we actually need to be positive. Always think positive, no negative. Because I often say to people, thought is a prayer.
Yes.
It's a prayer.
Yes.
So it's like when we understand prayer and thought that we are attracting something, but it may not come to us exactly as we want.
It will come as it is required. Like the need will be fulfilled, but not wants.
But you know how manifestation happens? If you or I or any of our beautiful viewers, once you start to surrender what you want, your own selfish desires, dreams, hopes, all these things that usually lead to despair.
Yes.
And you only focus on the well-being of others.
Others.
The service of others.
Yes.
Then manifestation can happen for someone else. I couldn't tell you what's going to happen to me tomorrow. I cannot make anything happen. But for you, I may be able to write a letter to the private secretary of the prime minister and just request that give them whatever they want,
Yeah.
which I pray in the morning or when I meet anyone, guided by my Guruji. Give the people that you make me to meet whatever they want and double their faith in their own faith. If not double that faith, shake them to awaken the faith and give them more than they can imagine. So they'll say, wow, very spiritual, very divine, very connected. And then you and I can say to anyone, don't give any credit to any human. We want you to put faith in your Guruji, your guide, your Lord, your deity.
Whosoever you believe in true. Basically, divine is within us.
One source.
Yes, we all are connected. You, me, everybody who's listening, watching, whatever is happening all around the world, we all are connected. Some part of us is acting that way. Some part of us is acting this way. But we all are connected. Right?
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And, the fact that you said everything's connected
Yes.
beautifully. So it's like if you want to understand prayer, which
Yeah.
we said thought is a prayer.
Yes.
So it's like I take you to Versova beach in Mumbai.
Okay.
And I say, okay, I just want to show you, ma'am. So what do you want? I give you a blank sheet of paper. I say, write anything. So you write, I want Coca-Cola. And it's a glass bottle I have. I say, okay, put it in there and throw it into the sea. So you throw it 10, 20, 30 meters. This is my desire. I want this in life. You're thinking it. Thinking is a prayer. Prayer is going to the system server of the universe. Positive or negative, it's getting uploaded. Sorry, bro. Some people say, no, but I didn't act on my thought. It's already been there. It's attracting something.
Yeah.
So when you throw it into the sea and you and I have a coconut, maybe a chai, that glass bottle will come out in 45 minutes to 2 hours, correct?
Yes.
Ocean, the universe is like Versova Beach. It doesn't keep anything. It'll
Nothing.
it'll come back.
Ocean keeps nothing within it.
So universe divine is like that. So when the bottle comes back, I say, ma'am, Aarti, let's go see what you got. If you got what you wanted. So when you open the bottle and you pull that shit out, you were hoping for Coke. It says Fanta. It says Jaljira. You say, and I say, ma'am, I think universe is trying to teach you something. So the next day we go to the beach together. And I say, RTG, did you learn about this universe? You say, I think I did. So I get the chit again, and I give her the glass bottle. And I say, what do you want? And you say, no, I've learned my lesson now. I'm not asking the divine for anything. I'm saying, you give me what you want. I say, wow, great. So you put the chit back in. You throw it into the sea again. It comes back within 2 hours. We wait for it. I say, oh, cool. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
So you pull it out, a blank paper which you put in, saying, you give me whatever you want, divine. And now you have Diet Coke.
Okay.
You wanted Coke yesterday.
Yeah.
It gave you Jaljira or Fanta. Now when you surrendered and said, give me whatever you want, you got something similar in some form.
Yes.
So going back to manifestation or thoughts, I always ask people, are you thinking positive most of the day? They say, no, mostly negative. I say, okay. You replace that negative thought immediately with positive, and you understand that it's difficult to, quote unquote, manifest that thing you want because of the negativity.
Yeah.
When we burn that negativity inside us, all the karma, krodha, lord, all these deformities or defects in the human, which cannot be completely pulled out. They can be reduced so they don't control us, like our senses. Then all of a sudden, wow, the magic starts to happen.
Yes.
Because you're not holding on to anything. You're saying something has come to me, opportunity.
Yes. That's beautiful. It was beautiful talking to you. Totally, totally. I have really loved it. And I would say it in Hindi कि हमारी जिंदगी में हम किस वक्त कहाँ प्रस्तुत किए जा रहे हैं, कहाँ रखे जा रहे हैं और हमारे साथ क्या होने वाला है, we don't know. I want to say like that in our life, whatever is happening with us, where we are going to be planted, where we are going to be in such a situation, someplace, somewhere, we don't know. But once we just let loose, let go, and just be, then we will be exactly or somewhere close to where we are supposed to be. Right?
When we stop trying to reach behind us
Yes.
to touch and grab what we think we lost,
Yes.
which was never ours,
Yes.
we start to fly.
Fly.
And it's like life, which you so beautifully summed up. It's like we always want to talk to divine in any name or for it, Lord or divine.
Yes.
But the average human cannot talk to divine before surrender and seva is enacted.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to Goa. You sit at the gambling table on the river, and you have your chips, your money, you even have your cards. And it's everything is quote unquote winning.
Yeah.
Because only Sanatan Dharma has the answer to what next in life.
Yeah.
After I get all the things I thought I wanted, if they even come in some form, everything's coming in some form, not exactly, then what? Sanatan Dharma has that answer. So the moment the man sees what he thinks is like winning in life, whatever it is, gets up from the table, leaves all the money, the chips, the card, and walks away from that gambling of life, trying to take control of things you have no control of, trying to make your destiny your future without surrendering to the beautiful things that are supposed to come, then that's when the divine sees you. We got one. They understand the game of life.
Yeah.
That is when the divine grabs someone and they start going into that divine program of life.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't make effort, but it has to be positive effort.
Yeah.
I often encourage people, if a door is not opening for 6 months, 1 year, 10 years, don't keep knocking on that door. You go to the next door.
Next door.
This one may open later, but the time that you move to consecutive doors, the opportunities, things that are available now in life, which is the theme of this book, what is with you now is a reality.
Yes.
Then when that thing you really wanted comes to you in some form later, you may not really need it anymore.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's like that letting go is the relief, not the burden.
Absolutely.
And when the truths of life are known, which on this podcast, you are giving the truths of life.
Yes.
When the truths of life are known, living becomes easy, simple, and synchronized.
Yes. It was beautiful, Matthews, talking to you. And your Guruji has given you name like Ananda, right?
Ananda Mathews.
Ananda Mathews, Indian name. So you are Anand. You are happiness. Your presence over here was beautiful, happy. And I'm feeling very happy to do this podcast with you. And I hope आप सबको भी इस podcast में से कुछ अपने लिए मिला हो. And I wish you lots of love, blessing, and happiness. Take whatever you feel is right for you and share with whosoever is needing it, not wanting it. I wish you very beautiful life. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you, Matthews.
Pranam.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Jai Bharat Vishwaguru.
Thank you.